4th of July baseball. It doesn't get much better than this, and it's a beautiful day for baseball on this nation's birthday. Second game between the Evansville Otters and the Lake Erie Crushers from Avon, Ohio. I'm Griffin Epstein here on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. So glad you can join us on what's a picture-perfect day for baseball. Mother Nature is certainly a patriotic girl, as it's a fine day for baseball here on the 4th of July. Otters trying to bounce back after a rough start in their first game here at Avon on the season. The Otters shut out last night, a 6-0 victory for the Crushers over the Otters. Evansville mustered just 4 hits. They're tied for their worst output of the season, and the Otters shut out for the 5th time. Couldn't do much offensively, had just 5 total base runners in just 1 inning with a runner in scoring position. Zach Smith would take the loss, pitch well over his last 4 innings, didn't allow a hit, but 4 runs in the first 2 innings, put the Otters in an early hole, and they could not recover. So Evansville trying to bounce back today against the Crushers. Lake Erie with a win today. It'd be their first series win in their last 7 series. The Crushers 19-27. They're still in last place in the Frontier League West, while the Otters 26-19. They are 2.5 games back of Gateway in the Frontier League West and in 3rd place. It's time to meet your starting lineups today. We'll start with the Evansville Otters led by Andy McCauley. Noah Myers, the Edward Jones leadoff batter, leads off for Evansville and will DH today. John Dyer bats second and plays left field. Dakota Phillips will bat third and catch. Yomar Reyes is in the cleanup spot and playing third base. He had half of the offense yesterday for the Otters with 2 hits. Kona Quiggle bats fifth and plays center field, moved back in the lineup. George Khalil will bat sixth and play shortstop. The Evansville native Aaron Beck will play first base in the 7-hole. Daniel Sayer batting 8th and playing second base, and Brian Rosario, after a day off yesterday, back in the lineup, batting 9th and playing right field. The Otters will send their ace to the mound today. Tim Holdgraver gets the nod for the Otters. Will be the 10th start of the season for Tim. A 2.37 ERA is the 6th best in the Frontier League, and a win today would put him back alone in first place for most wins in the league. Lake Erie, their starting lineup today as they look to win 2 in a row. Todd Isaacs Jr., the left fielder, leads off for the Crushers. He had 3 hits yesterday. Jack Harris bats second and plays right field. Jared Watkins will bat third and play shortstop, the lone all-star selection for the Crushers. Kemel Thomas Rivera will be in the cleanup spot playing second base. Keenan Irizarry is the third baseman. He bats fifth. Zachary Cusin batting sixth and playing right field. Bottom 3 in the lineup for Lake Erie. Josh Rego, the first baseman. John Tuchilo, the catcher, and Sean Chile, the center fielder, rounds out the lineup for the Crushers. Interesting pitcher that the Otters are going to face today. Former big leaguer J.D. Hammer. He played 2 years with the Philadelphia Phillies, was a reliever for the Phillies, had 40 appearances between 2019 and 2021 with the Phillies, but had a rough last year in AAA, and now in his first season here with the Crushers. Guy who started the year as a bullpen guy and has been a starter of late. A 2.83 ERA, 5 starts and 15 appearances for J.D. Hammer. So those are your starting lineups and pitching matchup this afternoon from Mercy Health Stadium. Otters played in front of a sold-out crowd yesterday. What a atmosphere it was. Over 4,000 fans here at Mercy Health Stadium, their largest crowd of the season. Evansville's not going to have to contend with the same amount of fans. The seats mostly empty at the moment for this 4th of July middle of the day game. This is the only day game on the 4th across the league. So the Otters and Crushers almost set to go. As we mentioned, beautiful weather conditions. Currently at 82 degrees here in Avon, just outside of Cleveland. Light wind, 5 miles per hour blowing in from center field. And there is not a cloud in the sky, nor is there any smoke either. Good air quality. You can't ask for a better weather day than what we have here on the shores of Lake Erie. Umpiring crew tonight, Clifton Glidewell at home, Mark Schmidt at first, and Wesley Dunkel at third base. So the Otters trying to bounce back. Evansville's been great at bouncing back all season long. The Otters, after losses, 14-4. Evansville's only lost 2 games in a row or more, just 3 times this season. Though they did lose 2 in a row just on Wednesday and then Friday, dropping the last game against Gateway. Game on Thursday was rained out and lost the opener against Joliet. So the Otters trying to get back to their winning ways today. We'll take a brief break for the national anthem here on the 4th of July and be back with first pitch, 4th of July baseball on a lovely afternoon from Avon. Crushers and Otters on the other side on the Otters Digital Network and simulcast on Flow Sports. Just about ready to go. 4th of July baseball, a great American tradition on a lovely afternoon from Avon, Ohio. The Crushers onto the field to take on the Otters as Evansville looks to even up this series at a game apiece. Quick a turnaround from the late game last night, 7 o'clock local time last night, and now a 2 o'clock local time start here on the holiday. Lake Erie has taken the mound, so the Otters facing, as we mentioned in the pregame show, the former big leaguer J.D. Hammer, righty, who now lives in Avon, Ohio. 15 appearances and 5 starts on the year, 2.83 ERA. He's been moved into a full-time starting role over the last few weeks for the Crushers. 5 innings each in his last 2 starts. He's been very good. Shut out Schaumburg 2 starts ago, and then earned a win at the toughest place to pitch in the Frontier League at New Jersey, as he limited the Jackals to just 3 runs and earned the win. Started the year in the pen, has been effective. Pitched over 2 years with the Phillies, 40 appearances, former draft picked originally by the Colorado Rockies in the 24th round out of Marshall, where he was a starter with the Thundering Herd. Around him on the diamond, John Tuccillo is the catcher, Josh Rego at first, Kemal Thomas Rivera at second, Jared Watkins, the all-star at short, and Kenan Irizarry at third. Ty Dozix Jr. in left field, Sean Chile in center, and Zach Racusin in right. Otters shut out yesterday, one of their worst offensive performances of the season, but it's a new day today, and Evansville will try to bring the bats here to Mercy Health Stadium and even up this series at a game apiece and force a rubber match on Thursday after a day off tomorrow. Noah Myers digs into the left-handed batter's box, hammer ready on the right side of the rubber, looking in, winds and throws. First pitch strike, and we're underway on the 4th of July. Not a cloud in the sky today. Boy, is the weather delivered. The 0-1 at the knees for a strike, 0-2. It's perfect weather to watch the game. A little bit hot for the players, as they were noting earlier today, especially on the artificial turf field. All artificial turf here at Mercy Health Stadium. Hammer winds and throws. Pitch inside for a ball. 1-2 count to Noah Myers. Otters mustered just 6 base runners all of yesterday. 4 hits and 2 walks. That was it. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fell into an early 4-0 hole, and the Otters really went quiet from there. Trying to get off to a better start today has to be a goal. The 2-2 swung on and driven under the glove of the first baseman Rego and into right field. Noah Myers leads off with a base hit. To start, the Otters bats were looking for a hot hit ball by Myers down the right field line past Rego, the first baseman. 100 miles off the bat. Myers is ready to play some 4th of July baseball. So he's aboard at first after a hitless day yesterday. John Dyer comes up, a righty batter, batting in the 2nd spot here today for the Otters. Just Dyer's 4th start of the year and the highest he's batted. Takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Dyer this is impossible to track, but I can't imagine there's very few players in baseball history that have done what Dyer has now done in his first 4 starts of the year. The 1-0 is not coming yet. His hammer steps off and checks over on Myers, who dives back in safely. We're just underway here in the top of the 1st inning from Avon. Dyer is making his 4th start in his 4th different position on the field. Remarkable. 1-0 from Hammer. Dyer takes a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Dyer made his debut on Saturday against Joliet, started at first base, played 3rd base on Sunday, played right field yesterday, and now left field today. 1-1, Myers takes off, pitches low. Myers, great jump, and the tag doesn't even need to be applied. Noah Myers has a stolen base, his 17th of the season. Myers certainly overshadowed by Rosario's speed as he leads the league in stolen bases, Brian Rosario, but Myers' speed can't be discounted. He's been excellent all year stealing back, so he's quickly in scoring position with nobody out. 2-1. On the inside corner for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Significantly smaller crowd than yesterday here at the ballpark. Sellout yesterday. It's probably 25% of that. That might be honest here today, as the 2-2 is fouled off the screen. A lot of 4th of July activities to compete with here in the Cleveland area. Glad you're joining us, though, on whatever your activities and wherever you're headed on the 4th of July. 2-2 count to Dyer. Hammer peeking back at Myers at second, now delivers home. Dyer swings and grounds one right to the shortstop Watkins, looks back Myers, throws to first, in time to beat Dyer by a stride, 1 away. Otters changing up their jerseys today. They're in all grays for the first time this road trip. Evansville written in blue script across the chest with blue numerals, no piping, black helmet with the blue E on the front. Lake Erie in their same uniforms as yesterday, purple tops with Lake Erie written in white across the chest, white piping with white numerals, all white pants with a white hat with the Crusher logo and a purple brim. Hammer delivers a strike at the knees to the lefty Dakota Phillips. Otters top three in the lineup yesterday really struggled. Combined 0 for 12 with nobody reaching base. Already with Myers' leadoff base hit. Better today. The 0-1, strike at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to Dakota Phillips. It's hard to win when your top 3 guys in the order don't reach base. Omar Reyes really the only guy to have a good day yesterday at the plate for Evansville. Hammer working out of the stretch, and the last minute time is called by Dakota Phillips. Righty pitcher on lefty batter matchup. Delivery home. Swung on and fouled off the screen. We'll do the 0-2 again. Day game today, and then both teams with the day off tomorrow before a night game on Thursday. Otters have played a lot of baseball over the last 36 hours or so. This is the 3rd game in a short span with a travel in between. The 0-2 breaking ball outside, 1-2. The night game at Joliet, getting into Cleveland around 4 a.m. yesterday. Yesterday evening game, and now today a day game. All with the time change as well, moving from the central time zone to the eastern time zone. Not an easy travel arrangement for Evansville. 1-2 from Hammer. Swing and a miss by Phillips. Blew a fastball at 92 away for his first strikeout of the game. There's 2 away with Myers still at second here in the top of the first. Brings up Omar Reyes, the third baseman, with 2 outs, and Myers still at second. Otters looking for their first run since the 8th inning on Sunday after being shut out for the 5th time yesterday. Hammer on the right side of the rubber comes home, and Reyes swings and flies one right near Billy Easley, the first base head coach for Evansville. Gets out of the way, and one ups into the seats. Better have brought your sunscreen if you're a player of the fan. There's not much protection from the sun here today. The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2. But in the heart of summer on America's birthday, you got to soak in the sunshine, right? I think sunscreen is just another thing to add to the list of patriotic elements of the 4th of July. 1-2 count to Omar. Hammer delivers, swung on and grounded, foul down the third base line. Bouncing again into the seats. It's a very short fence. In fact, it might be an insult to fences to call it a fence down the first and third base line. It's about maybe 3 feet. Just a tiny little fence, child's-like fence that is the boundary between the field and the seats. Myers dancing at second as the pitch home is swung on and hooked foul up into the concourse down the right field line. Myers at second with 2 outs here in the top of the first, an 0-2 count to Reyes. Seventeenth pitch of the inning coming for Hammer. The pitch fouled away again by Reyes. That's just turning into a good battle between these two. Omar with 2 of the 4 hits yesterday for the Otters, extending his on-base streak to now 24 games. And he has hits in 23 of his last 24 played. A very impressive last month at the plate for the All-Star third baseman. 0-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. The ball in the dirt. Chasing Reyes is the catcher. Tuccello will tag him out. And the side is retired. The Otters get a leadoff hit by Myers, but that's all in the top of the first. No score. Tim Oldgraver headed to the bunk for the Otters at the bottom of the first. We'll be right back on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Back in Avon, Ohio, just outside of Cleveland. 4th of July baseball on a beautiful day here in Northern Ohio. Tim Oldgraver making his 10th start of the season for Evansville. He's 6-2 with a 2.37 ERA. Third year with the Otters, and he's having his best season yet. A win today puts him atop the win leaderboard in the Frontier League, currently tied with 5 different pitchers with 6 wins. ERA 6th best. Struck out 42 batters over 57 innings pitched, just 11 walks. And 7 of his 9 starts quality outings, going at least 6 innings and allowing 3 runs or less. Coming off his first no decision of the year against Gateway last Wednesday, allowed 2 earned runs over 6 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, no walks. Todd Isaacs Jr. leads things off for Lake Erie here in the bottom of the first. Oldgraver winds and throws. Isaacs Jr. takes the first pitch strike. Dakota Phillips, the catcher today. The pitcher-catcher battery brought to you by The Answer Auto Repair East. You can find all your battery needs. The Answer Auto Repair East at 2319 North Green River Road. A 1. Popped up by Isaacs Jr. High in the air, down the right field line. Racing over is Sayer in the bullpen. It bounces into the seats. You can also call The Answer Auto Repair East at 812-475-9000. Phillips catching Oldgraver for the 8th time this season, 8 of 9 starts. Phillips has been the catcher 8 of 10 now starts on the season. Dakota and Oldgraver teaming oath. Both have been with the Otters the last 3 years. The 0-2, swing and a miss by Isaacs Jr. 1 away. So Oldgraver gets a first batter strikeout. Rest of the diamond around him. Aaron Beck at first, Daniel Sayer at second, George Khalil at short, and Jomar Reyes at third base. John Dyer in left field, Kona Quiggle in center, and Brian Rosario back in the lineup at right. Ethan Skinder's still dealing with a nagging injury, and Jeffrey Baez not on the road trip for the Otters as Jack Harris takes the first pitch low for a ball, 1-0. And Myers DHing today, so a little bit of shuffling around for the Otters. 1-0 to the ready batter. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Oldgraver gave up 2 unearned runs in the first inning of his last inning against Gateway. Errors behind him put him in an early hole. 1-1. Breaking ball missing inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bounced back and was really good. Didn't allow a base runner from the end of the second inning to the end of the fourth. 7 in a row retired. Did have 2 runs come across on his tab in his last inning of work in the 5th as Harris fouls 1 away, 2-2. Only 2 times all season would you say Oldgraver hasn't had his best stuff. His 2 losses. And he allowed 5 earned against Washington and 4 earned against Schaumburg, both of those at home. Certainly the Otters ace, the 2-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Did Harris go around? No, he held up. And a full count. Fastball, cutter, and slider from Oldgraver with a heavy serving of cutters. Payoff pitch coming to Harris. Tim kicks and throws. Inside corner, strike 3 call. Harris strikes out looking, back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Tim Holdgrafer. Brings up Jared Watkins, the shortstop, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the first. Lake Erie jumped on the Otters early yesterday, 1 in the first and 3 in the second before Zach Smith settled down and pitched a really good last 4 innings. Watkins swings at the first pitch and grounds it right to the second baseman, Sayer. He gloves it, throws to first in time, and that is a 1-2-3 bottom of the first inning for Tim Holdgrafer. We're scoreless through 1 on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Sometimes stress can make you talk funny. Sometimes stress is like, is that we thought we were going to get a hit at a baseball game. Sometimes stress is going to cause insomnia. Sometimes it's going to cause high blood pressure. What we want to do is lessen that stress of your life. And during a baseball game, there is stress. There is stress. Like about 4:30 this afternoon, you're going to have to figure out where you park your car and how you get into it without burning yourself. So we're going to pass out these stress balls, and we want to hear from you some noise. So make some noise, and we'll toss them out, all right? All right, that's good enough.
Back at Mercy Health Stadium for the top of the second inning. Scoreless between the Otters and the Crushers. A picture-perfect day for baseball on July 4th. Much smaller crowd than yesterday, but plenty of stars and stripes and red, white, and blue in attendance. Enjoying America's pastime on America's birthday. Kona Quiggle will lead things off for the Otters here in the top of the second against J.D. Hammer. Quiggle moved back in the starting lineup, back to the 5 spot. First pitch home to Quiggle, swing and a miss, 0-1. Kona went hitless yesterday, 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. 3 strikeouts yesterday for Kona. 0-1, swing and a miss again, 0-2. Quiggle started 15 games here in the 5 spot, so familiar being moved back to the lineup. A few weeks ago moved up to the 2-hole. Andy McCauley shuffling some things around, is trying to get the Otters bats back going after a quiet day yesterday. Oh, 2 from Hammer. Swing and a miss. Wow, 3 straight fastballs from J.D. Hammer, the last one topping out at 94 miles per hour. 3 straight strikeouts for Hammer, and there's 1 away here in the top of the second. We're scoreless. Brings up George Khalil, the shortstop, with 1 out and nobody on. Hammer, if he gets going, is a scary pitcher to face. Khalil, the ready batter, takes a first pitch outside, 1-0. Former big leaguer, Hammer, reliever with the Philadelphia Phillies for 2 years. Started in the Rockies organization, moved to the Phillies, slowly made his way up to the major leagues. 1-0 pitch, a strike at the letters, 1 ball and 1 strike. Had a pretty solid 2019 with the Phillies, 3.79 ERA and 20 appearances, finished 7 games, 19 innings pitched, so not a huge amount of action as Hammer takes side, 2 balls and 1 strike. He started the year in Double-A and moved his way up to the big leagues. And continued with the Phillies in 2021 as Khalil fouls one away, 2-2. Only had 4 appearances with the Phillies in 2021 before being set down to AAA Lehigh Valley. Struggled there and then was traded to the Rockies. And he had a rough 2021 at Albuquerque as Khalil takes a pitch outside, a payoff. Released by the Rockies, and now finds him here playing for the Crushers, and he lives in Avon, Ohio as well. So he's getting to live at home and continuing to live out the dream. But for a guy now 28 years old, he's run out of time to get back to the big leagues as Khalil takes a pitch inside for ball 4. Good walk by Khalil on a full count. He's aboard at first with 1 out. You know, when you're facing a former big leaguer, though, and a guy who's had some success in the big leagues, that the stuff's going to be really good if he's at his best. But as it is in any sport, it's a matter of consistency and execution. Aaron Beck, lefty batter, steps into the left-handed batter's box with 1 on and 1 out. First pitch home to Beck, misses low, 1 ball and no strikes. No score here on the top of the second with 1 out. Hammer at the belt, small kick and a throw. Pitch on the inside corner called for a strike, 1-1. Certainly high velocity by Hammer with the fastball up to 94 miles per hour. Has a curveball as well. Hammer steps off, throws back to first. Khalil steps back on the back. Fastball, slider, and curve, the 3-pitch mix for J.D. Hammer. Ready, a long look in, now delivers. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Hammer above the belt and delivers. Khalil swings swings and pops it up on the infield. Behind the second base bag is Jared Watkins to make the catch. And there's 2 away. Hey, Otter fans, if you have a group of friends or coworkers who wish to come to historic Bosse Field and enjoy an Otters home game, contact the Otters front office to reserve a party deck on the Corona Extra Patio Deck. The Corona Extra Patio Deck is one of the best places to watch the game with an all-you-can-eat menu and unlimited bottled water and soft drinks. Call 812-435-8686 for more information on how you can book your next celebration. Daniel Sayer is the batter. The righty takes a first pitch inside for a ball. 1 on with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. No score between the Otters and the Crushers in the second game of 3 here on the 4th of July. The 1-0 home on the inside corner, called a strike, 1-1. Interesting, the Otters have 2 guys that have become major contributors in this Evansville lineup on this road trip, John Dyer and Daniel Sayer, and neither of them has played at Bosse Field yet. 1-1. Sayer fouls away behind home plate, out of play. Dyer activated right at the start of the road trip, making his debut on Saturday. And Sayer started 1 game at Florence a weekend ago and then didn't play in the 2 games at Gateway before getting another start on Friday at Joliet. Sayer takes inside 2-2. So 2 guys that are quickly becoming key contributors to the Otters, but neither Sayer or Dyer has even played in front of the Otters faithful back at Bosse Field. Both will most likely this weekend as the Otters close out the schedule before the All-Star break against the Windy City Thunderbolts. Sayer takes strike 3 called on the inside corner. A breaking ball rings up Sayer. 4 strikeouts already for Hammer through 2. We go to the bottom of the second. No score on the Otters Digital Network. back on the shores of Lake Erie here at Mercy Health Stadium. No score between the Otters and the Crushers. Tim Holdgrafer needed just 10 pitches in the first inning to retire the side in order. He'll face 4, 5, and 6 here for Lake Erie in the bottom of the second. Holdgrafer on the far right side of the rubber. Blue cleats today, complementing the blue hats. Pitch home, strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Yeah, two starting pitchers today with a lot of minor league and affiliate ball experience. 0-1 to the righty, Thomas Rivera. On the inside corner again for a strike, 0-2. Holdgrafer making the journey all the way up to AAA last year, the Detroit Tigers organization. Black glove, twirls home. Beautiful pitch, just missed inside. Otters have shut out 5 opponents this year, and Holdgrafer has been the starter in 4 of those 5 games. The 1-2 swung on and lofted into left field, right at Dyer, reaches up the glove and makes the catch. 1 away. Holdgrafer named a starter as well in the All-Star game as Keenan Irizarry, the third baseman, comes to the plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the second. Certainly well-deserved for Holdgrafer. He could start the All-Star game. I wouldn't be shocked if he gets the nod. Winds home. First pitch strike at the knees, 0-1. He's not the most dominant or flashy starting pitcher in the Frontier League, but he's arguably been the most consistent and reliable. Looking for win number 7 today. The 0-1 swung on and lofted high in the air to left center. Over is Dyer, and he makes the catch again. 2 away. 2 quick flyouts to left here in the second, and Holdgrafer has retired the first 5. Brings up Zachary Houston, the right fielder, with 2 outs and nobody on here in the bottom of the second. No score. Holdgrafer delivers. Rick Houston takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Houston went 0 for 4 yesterday. His wild week played against the Otters last Tuesday and Wednesday. Now faces them as a member of the Crushers after being with Gateway. Swings and trickles one down the third base line. Gloved by Reyes, throws to first in time for the out. Another quick 1-2-3 inning for Holdgrafer. This one took just 6 pitches to complete. No score between the Otters and the Crushers on the Evansville Otters Digital Network.
Well, I'm not quite there yet, but I wanted to say that, it's a really warm afternoon. It's about 84, 85 degrees out. We want something to cool down. We've got a whole list of refreshing drinks up here at the One Stop Bar. So call me and we'll show you how to get there. It's just a simple walk up here to the third base side past fan service. You come up some of the steps here. Everybody can do steps. If you don't want, you got a ramp. It's easy to get to. And then here we are at the Beatbox Plaza. And this is where you get all sorts of frosty drinks on a nice hot summer afternoon. Perfectly timed. Here comes my usual drink. Is that the usual? It's the usual. The mango margarita beatbox. What you got? Thank you so much. We'll have to talk to you about your tab later. Right. Okay, so make your next stop the One Stop Bar.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, fans, ballpark on tap tickets are on sale now. Join us here at Mercy Health Stadium on Saturday, August 5th for craft beer, wine, great food, and live music. Visit fan services for more information or buy your tickets now at LakeErieCrushers.com. Also, fans, a cheap credit union has been Lorain County's credit union for over 65 years. Conveniently located in Elyria, Lorain, and LaGrange.
2 innings complete on the 4th of July for Mercy Health Stadium here in Avon, Ohio. About a half hour outside of downtown Cleveland. Beautiful afternoon for baseball on our nation's birthday. Daniel Sayer will make it. Brian Rosario will lead things off for the Otters here in the top of the 3rd inning. Just one combined hit through the first 2 innings between these two sides. Noah Myers had a leadoff base hit in the first. First pitch to Rosario, batting lefty, swung on and chopped right back to the mound. Glove by Hammer, he throws to first. Not a good throw, but Rego kept his foot on the bag and Rosario's out. Hammer threw way too far outside of the baseline, and Rego had to make a big stretch to keep his toe on the bag and haul in the baseball. But a good play by Rego to hold on, and Rosario retired on just one pitch. So back to the top of the order, Noah Myers, who had the leadoff base hit in the first. Hammer delivers, and Myers takes a strike at the knees, 0-1. Good news for the Otters on what's shaping up to be a pitcher's duel today. Hammer has not gone more than 5 innings in any appearance this year. Started as a bullpen guy before recently becoming a starter. Pitch sales high, 1-1. Hasn't been a full-time starter since his college days all the way back at Marshall as Myers swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. All the way back with the Thundering Herd in 2016. 29-year-old. Just 1 start in affiliate ball over his time with the Rockies and the Phillies organizations. Crushers with some injuries and changes, moving him into the starting role now. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Back to the fastball. It's got some serious heat and some bite to it as well. A little bit of a tail on the end of the fastball. Myers strikes out, and that's strikeout number 5 for Hammer. 2 away here in the top of the third. It brings up John Dyer. No score, 2 outs, bases empty. Just 2 total base runners so far in this ballgame between 2 of the top pitching staffs in the league. Dyer takes a first pitch breaking ball in the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. 78-mile-per-hour breaking ball, right in on the hands. Now Hammer can go back to his fastball. The 0-1, another breaking ball in the dirt. Check swing by Dyer, and he went around. That's what I was expecting. He would go back to the fastball, but he stayed with the breaking ball. Fell off the table and down into the turf. Now 0-2. See if Dyer goes with the fastball. Pitch home. It is a fastball, but well high. 1-2. Sunsplash day, not a cloud in the sky here from Avon. No shade at all on the field or in most of the ballpark. The 1-2 fouled off the screen. Dyer just gets a piece of a fastball. Pleasant though, not too hot. The low 80s. Not much of a breeze. Maybe a little bit more of a breeze would be nice, but you can't complain on a day like this. 1-2. Swung on and popped up right side, and that's headed well out of play and towards I-90. Mentioned it yesterday. I really think a foul ball could be hit to I-90. Now, maybe my depth perception's not good and it's farther away than I think, but we can see pretty well all the cars rumbling by on the highway. The 1-2 bouncing in the turf. 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can hear it as well. You couldn't hear it last night with 4,000 people in attendance, but on a much more mellow and much smaller crowd. Freeway makes some noise. Just a distant rumble, though. 2-2. Grounded left side and foul. Otters haven't gotten much going on Hammer, but they have done a good job fouling off pitches and working up the pitch count. Up to 45 pitches now for the righty. Pitch home. Swung on and grounded. Skids off the top of the mound, but right into the glove of the shortstop. Watkins throws to first in time for the 3rd out. Dyer might have had a hit up the middle, but it hit off the left side of the mound and took a perfect hop right into the glove of the shortstop Watkins. Otters go down in order in the top of the 3rd. Holdgrave for back to the bump. No score on the Otters Digital Network.
heading for home. You don't want to slip or fall because there's dirt on the base, just like you don't want dirt on your teeth. So let's get that all cleaned off there, Elizabeth. You're doing a great job. Looking good, looking good. And let's have a big hand for Elizabeth doing that job for us. Thank you, Elizabeth.
And today's Wakata designated driver of the game is Bob Markey. Congratulations, Bob. Please stop by the fan services desk. You won 3 non-alcoholic beverages for the rest of the game. And don't forget, kids, the Kid Zone is open. Grab your parents and head over to right field and check out the Kid Zone sponsored by St. Paul Westway.
Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium. No score between the Otters and the Crushers. They're playing a little bit of Queen on this 4th of July here from Avon. Tim Holdgrafer has retired the first 6 batters of the game. He faces the bottom of the lineup here for the Crushers in the 3rd. Josh Rago, the first baseman, leads off. Holdgrafer throws. First base low for a ball, 1-0. They're actually playing the exact same song, Don't Stop Me Now, by Queen on Saturday at Joliet during Otters batting practice. The 1-0, beautiful breaking ball in the inside corner for a strike, 1-1. Jake Green started singing along. Annie McCauley was enjoying it. But not everyone knew both the song or the band or even the singer. A swing and a miss by Rago, 1-2. Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, turned to Billy Easley, who's a little bit younger, to ask him who the song was by. He had no idea. The 1-2 home. Misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And George Khalil, the Australian, was also a little bit of a loss. Jake Green helped him with Freddie Mercury. Khalil said, "Oh, I've heard of him. Sounds familiar." 2-2 is fouled off the end of the bat. Grafer, big kick, winds and throws, swing and a miss by Rago. A cutter right on the inner third. And Tim Holdgrafer has struck out 3 already and retired the first 7 of the game. Brings up Don Chuchillo, the catcher, with 1 out and nobody on. Chuchillo getting his first start of this series. They're having the day off yesterday. First pitch to the righty. Pitch misses inside for a ball. Lake Erie, a good day yesterday with the bats with 6 runs, but still the worst scoring offense in the league at under 4 runs a game. 1-0. Grounded, right side, softly hit, charging in Sayer, the second baseman. Underhand toss to first, easily beat Tuccello, and there's 2 away. For landscape design that is truly unique, look to locally owned Wild Horticulture. Whether you need a team to design and construct a large-scale landscape project for your business, or are looking to create an epic backyard retreat complete with plants, water, and light installation, the experienced team at Wild can take your ideas to the next level. You've likely seen their creative work all over town. Wild Horticulture has the skills and resources to deliver inspiring spaces and bring your ideas to life. Son Chile, number 9 batter, lefty, takes the first pitch outside. If you have a project in mind, you can find them on Instagram and at wildspaces.com. One to know. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Grafer kicks and throws. Swung on and lofted over the head of Sayer and into center field. A base hit for Chile. It's the first base runner of the game for Lake Erie, the number 9 batter with a base hit into center. First pitch home. This is low, 1-0. Top of the order was big yesterday for Lake Erie to kickstart a struggling offense. Grafer delivers. A strike at the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. Isaacs Jr. had 3 hits. Jack Harris, number 2 batter, had 2 hits, including a 2 RBI triple in the second. Here he got out to the early 4-0 start and never looked back in front of the huge crowd. 1-1. A bunt shown, laid down the third base line. Holdgrafer over to barehanded, throw to first in time for the out. Nice play by Holdgrafer. Could have left it keep rolling for Reyes, but would have been a much tougher play for the third baseman. So Holdgrafer through 3 shutout. He's allowed just 1 base runner through 3 innings. We go to the 4th inning. No score between the Otters and the Crushers on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. Three innings complete on the 4th of July from Avon, Ohio, and we've got an old-fashioned pitcher's duel on our hands between J.D. Hammer and Tim Holdgrafer. Just 1 hit apiece for both sides and no runs as we start the top of the 4th inning. Dakota Phillips, lefty batter, to lead things off for the Otters. Hammer comes home, and Phillips chops it foul. 4th of July, and they've actually spray painted the second base here at Mercy Health Stadium. Red, white, and blue. Got the stars and the stripes. 0-1. Inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Have the red, white, and blue bunting as well hung up around the ballpark. That's one of the great traditions of baseball around the 4th of July with the bunting. You bring it out and you know it's that time of year again. The 1-1, beautiful breaking ball, but missed just low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Had quite a fireworks display after the game as well. The city of Avon put on the fireworks display at the ballpark. 2-1, swung on, grounded left side. Over is the shortstop. Watkins to glove it, throw to first. Just beats the runner Phillips by half a stride, and there's 1 away. 6 Otters retired in a row, now by J.D. Hammer. Brings up Yomar Reyes, the third baseman, with 1 out and nobody on. Reyes struck out his first time up after a 2-hit day yesterday. First pitch home to Yomar. Strike on the outside corner. 24-game on-base streak for Reyes. Now the second longest of any Otter over the last 2 seasons. The 0-1, swing and a miss by Reyes. Nearly fell out of his shoes, 0-2. Only Elijah McNamee, the Otter last year, 36-game on-base streak, has a longer on-base streak over the last 2 seasons. The 0-2, Reyes hacks at it and sprays it down into the concourse on the right side. Five years in the Baltimore Orioles organization for Yomar. He's really thrived here in the Frontier League after not playing baseball last few years. The 0-2 bounces well in front of home plate, 1-2. Reyes was cut during COVID, as so many players were, with budget cuts and minor league teams cut. And did not play the last 2 seasons in the U.S. 1-2 home. Swing and a miss by Reyes. He chases one out of the zone, and there's 2 away. 6 strikeouts for Hammer. Brings up Kona Quiggle with 2 outs and nobody on here in the top of the 4th. Scoreless between the Otters and the Crushers. Quiggle batting lefty, struck out his first time up to the plate. Throw home. Quiggle takes low, 1-0. Hammer winds, Quiggle swings and pops one up. Left side in foul territory. Irizarry, the third baseman, in the bullpen for Lake Erie, makes the catch. Good play by Irizarry. Down in the turf, around the plates in the bullpen. Makes the catch along the wall. The Otters go down in order for a second straight inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. No score between Evansville and Lake Erie on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, fans, we get to celebrate a lot of things here on the 4th of July weekend. One of the things that we've had fun doing this past couple nights is celebrating birthdays. Coming up to the stand right now is Bobby Cade celebrating his birthday, which is tomorrow, where he will become 77 years of age. So please join with me as we sing happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bobby Cade, turns 77 tomorrow. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
Thanks, Tom. Hey, fans, a taste of Roger Park is in the ballpark today. Raiders have been producing small batch stretch pot ice cream that fans love since 1870. Grab any number of flavors, including a black raspberry, double chocolate chip, a cookie dough, or vanilla at Stoppers Grill or Eddie's Eatery. Or stop by their ice cream shop at Roger Park. Nothing beats Raiders ice cream on a hot summer day.
4th of July from Avon, Ohio. No score between the Otters and the Crushers as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Jack Harris leading things off for Lake Erie. The second game of this 3-game series over the holiday week. All Lake Erie last night 6-0, and so far a pitcher's duel today. Tim Holtgrafer lines and fires. Harris fouls the first pitch away. Holtgrafer's got it all working today so far. Pinpoint accuracy. He's only had one batter that he's gotten 3 balls on. That's a big plus to Holtgrafer. The 0-1 just misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. That was something I talked with Tim after his great start against Sussex County a couple weeks ago when he held the Miners to just 5 hits, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 8 shutouts. Harris takes outside, 2-1. He made a slight adjustment to his mechanics. He stood up a little bit straighter on his wind, wasn't bending over as much, and found he was able to locate his pitches a lot better, especially his trademark cutter. The 2-1, swing and a miss, 2-2. So fascinating to see guys that continue to tweak and change their stuff even after so many years of playing baseball with success. Changes can always be made to try to find that next step. 2-2 outside and a full count. Those batters are doing the same thing. They're making tweaks and adjustments as well. So you're always adjusting both sides to pitcher and batter, trying to find your best self. Payoff pitch. Grounded left side and foul. Swung on and fouled away again, almost to the same spot towards the Lake Erie dugout. We'll do the payoff pitch again. Even major leaguers, they're making adjustments all the time, and you can see guys that go from great to awful in a matter of a season. And the other way around as well. Another payoff, swing and a miss. Harris strikes out. Back to the cutter for Tim Holdgrafer, and it's strikeout number 4 for the San Diego native. 1 out and nobody on here in the bottom of the 4th. It brings up Jared Watkins, the shortstop. No score between the Otters and the Crushers. Holdgrafer deals. Watkins takes a strike at the knee, 0-1. Well, Alex Manoah is a fascinating cautionary tale of a pitcher who was so good last year with the Toronto Blue Jays. He finished 3rd in the American League Cy Young voting. To this year just being quite simply a dumpster fire as the 0-1s popped up down the right field line and headed into the seats. Guy who struggled so much at the majors, he was sent all the way back down to the Arizona Complex League for the Blue Jays, and he struggled in his first start there. He's now pitching in Double-A. 0-2, swing and a miss, and there's 2 away. Back-to-back strikeouts for Holdgrafer in the 4th, and he's got 5 Ks to his tag. Brings up Kemwell Thomas Rivera, second baseman, with 2 outs and nobody on. Manoah's throwing better now, I know, at Double-A, but it's just your mechanics can fall apart on you. Mentally, things can go badly as Thomas Rivera takes a first pitch strike. And I know someone did a whole YouTube video kind of breaking down part of the issues for Manoah and things that he was doing last year that he hasn't maintained mechanically this year. It's not just all mental. As the 0-1's a strike at the knees, 0-2. Especially as you get older as a pitcher, your velocity is going to tick down. So you're going to have to make other adjustments if you want to continue to be effective. Tim will turn 28 in August. The 0-2 from Holdgrafer. Swung on and popped up into right field. Racing over Rosario, leaping, and can't make the catch. It bounces off his glove, and Thomas Rivera into second with a double. Rosario almost with a spectacular leaping catch in right field, but it bounced off his glove and bounced up over the fence for a ground rule double. Thomas Rivera with a double to right, just outside of the reach of Rosario. Just the second hit of the game for Lake Erie, and the first extra base hit on either side. Runner at second with 2 outs, and Keenan Irizarry, the third baseman, lefty batter to the plate. Holdgrafer peeks back at second, comes home. Irizarry swings at the first pitch, pops it up down the left field line, and it will bounce foul into the bullpen. 5 strikeouts for Holdgrafer. It's just 46 pitches here in the bottom of the 4th. Just allowed his second hit. No walks. Otters haven't done much, though, against J.D. Hammer today through 4. Just 1 hit and 1 walk, that's all. 0-1 home. Swung on and grounded right side. Playing it back is back. It goes over his hand and into right field. A base hit. Thomas Rivera hustles around and scores, and it's 1-0 Lake Erie.
And you just witnessed a Great Lakes crush-worthy play of the game. For the next 20 minutes, all Great Lake products are half off.
Beck just got turned around on that bouncing baseball. Couldn't get the glove in front of it. Almost just tried to barehand it, but he kind of working backwards and turned around and couldn't get his body in front of it, and it skipped right by him. And into right with 2 outs, Thomas Rivera coming around to score. So an RBI base hit for Irizarry. And Lake Erie leads 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th as Recusin, ready batter, fouls the first pitch off the screen. Kind of a weird bouncing ball, and with Sayer, the second baseman, shifted over towards second with a runner at second, he was not going to be able to make the play. One Beck would probably like to have back. The 0-1, working ball on the outside corner for a strike, 0-2. So Lake Erie striking first here in the bottom of the 4th, a 1-0 lead. Oh, 2. Swung on and chopped right side, and again into right field, a base hit. Almost hit to the exact same spot, and Beck on the first base bag this time with a runner there. Couldn't get over in time. So Recusin knocks one through the 4-3 hole. 3 straight base hits for Lake Erie, and there's runners at first and second with 2 outs. And Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, out to have a quick word with Tim Holdgrafer and Evansville's infield. Irizarry at second and Recusin at first with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Lake Erie leads 1-0. Josh Rego, the first baseman, coming to the plate as meeting quickly ends between Max Peterson, Holdgrafer, and the rest of the Otters infield. Grafer's been great in working his way out of jams and issues this season. He's been great mentally. Needs to try to find the last out here in the 4th and keep it a 1-run ball game. Rego, the righty batter, he's 0 for 5 this series, making his professional debut. First pitch sails outside to Rego, 1-0. Native of Walnut Creek, California, in the East Bay in the San Francisco Bay Area. Just signed on yesterday, Monday, by the Crushers. 1-0, fouled away, 1 ball and 1 strike. It's the only day game across the Frontier League today. Everything else 4th of July evening games. And a quick turnaround for the Otters, but they'll be able to get a nice long time to rest with the evening off tonight and a day off tomorrow before a Thursday night game. 1-1 home. He is low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Two on with 2 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Lake Erie is taking a 1-0 lead. 2-1. Swung on and popped up into left field. Back is John Dyer, twisting back at the warning track. Can't make the catch. It bounces off the warning track and over the wall for a ground rule double. Irizarry will score from second. Recusin will have to hold at third, being a ground rule double for Rego. And it's 2-0 Crushers. Dyer got all turned around on a high arcing ball to left. And just couldn't locate it as it bounced right next to him and over the wall. So 2 ground rule doubles in the inning for Lake Erie. 4 straight hits, and it's 2-0 Crushers. First professional base hit for Rego, an RBI double. John Tuccillo, the Catcher comes to the plate. Runners at second and third. First pitch home from Holgrafer is inside 1-0. Crushers offense coming alive here in the bottom of the fourth. 1-0. Taken outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Pops out of Phillips' glove, but not too far away for Ricusin at third to go anywhere. Holgrafer takes a big deep breath, setting just above the belly, and comes home, and Tuccello fouls it off the end of his bat. Tried to hold up the swing, but caught the barrel. 2-1. Got red, white, and blue cotton candy today. I had a great chicken sandwich before the game. Ice cream. All the 4th of July foods out in good force. 2-1. A strike taken at the knees. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Holgrafer, again, a strike away from getting out of the inning. Things were going so smoothly. Struck out the first 2 batters, but 4 straight hits here for Lake Erie, including 2 ground rule doubles that made it 2-0 Crushers in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 home is low and a full count. Continues the trend of yesterday for the Crushers. They scored almost all of their runs with 2 outs yesterday. Scored all but 1 of their runs with 2 outs. 5 of their 6 runs in the game yesterday scored with 2 outs, and the first 2 here today with 2 outs. Payoff pitch coming. Pitch home, and Tuccello fouls it away. Holgrafer up to 55 pitches now after he allowed just 1 base runner through the first 3 innings. Middle of the lineup for Lake Erie coming alive. Another payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball to get Holgrafer out of the inning. His 6th strikeout of the game, but 2 runs come across for Lake Erie. 2 doubles, 2 base hits, and the Crushers lead by 2 after 4 on the Evansville Otters digital network.
Okay, Crusher fans, check out the fan attic for the item of the homestand. Check out this glow-in-the-dark kid ski and light the night like 4th of July. It's 25% off for a limited time, so grab it now while supplies last. And Crusher fans, you know there's nothing better than a nice cold beverage on the 4th of July. Be sure to stop by the One Stop Bar located on the Beatbox Party Plaza on the Gourmet side of the concourse. They have your favorite beverages there during the game, and after you leave the ballpark, don't forget to head over to One Stop Beverage on Colorado Avenue here in Avon for all your daily beverage needs. They're less than 2 miles from where you're sitting right now. You can quench whatever thirst you may have. One Stop Beverage is your summer cool-down stop.
To the 5th inning here from Lake Erie, a 2-0 lead for the Crushers through 4 innings of play. Otters looking for some offense. It's now been 14 consecutive innings for Evansville without a run, dating back to Sunday at Joliet after getting shut out yesterday. First pitch home from J.D. Hammer, sails high to George Khalil. 2 across in the bottom of the 4th on 4 straight 2-out hits for Lake Erie. A long wait on the bench for Hammer. The 1-0 is high, 2 balls and no strikes. Hammer at 65 pitches now. He's not gone into the 6th inning in any outing this season. It's just his 6th start after starting the year as a reliever. 2-0. Fastball on the outside corner for his strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Khalil. Otters with just 1 hit and 1 walk off Hammer to start the day. 2-1. Swung on and lofted high in the air to center field, taking Chile back a few steps from the track, under the ball for the first out of the inning.
And a quick reminder, for the next 10 minutes, all Great Lake products are still half off. The concession
One away, and it brings up Aaron Beck here in the top of the 5th inning. 2-0, Lake Erie leads.
and the new hitter for the Otters, first baseman Aaron Beck.
First pitch to the lefty Beck, a strike on the inside corner. A 1, check swing by Beck. He couldn't hold up. He went around on a pitch low in the dirt, and it's 0-2. Oh and 2. Sails high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. No other Frontier League baseball games going on this afternoon, but the most important, maybe 4th of July sporting event is not in baseball. But of course, the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest is the 1-2, sails low. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Beck. 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 5th. 2-0 Lake Erie. They had a lightning delay on Coney Island. Who would ever thought you would have a weather delay for a eating contest, but you can't eat hot dogs if there's lightning around. 2-2. He is chopped off the end of the bat by Beck. He stays alive. We're talking about Joey Chestnut's dominance yesterday, and he did it again today. I hope you didn't tape it. I don't know. Does anyone tape sporting events anymore besides my dad? Maybe not. Spoiler alert if you were planning to watch it later. Joey Chestnut did it again. The 2-2 by Beck is lofted high in the air, down the left field line. Isaacs Jr. over near the line, and he makes the grab. Right along the left field line, Beck gave it a good ride. That was the farthest hit ball by any Otter today, but there's 2 away. So today, Joey Chestnut winning 62 hot dogs, 8 in 10 minutes. He's won 16 of the last 17 years now. Was short of his record, which is in the 70s, but he's just basically untouchable at this point. Daniel Sayre, ready batter, takes the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike, 0-1. Chestnut is Indiana's own. Actually, he was born in Kentucky and now lives in Westfield, Indiana, north of Indianapolis. Born in Fulton County, Kentucky. His pitch misses outside to Sayre, 1-1, which is in the far western portion of the state on the Mississippi River. One and 1. Check swing by Sayre, and he held up 2-1. And one more connection to the Otters. Chestnut went to San Jose State, which is where Max Peterson, the Otters pitching coach, went, as well as Justin Watling. That's where Chestnut became a breakout competitive eater. His breakout performance was in a deep-fried asparagus eating championship. Sayre swings and lines one high in the air to center field. Not too deep, Chile under it, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. J.D. Hammer is having a dominant day on the 4th of July. 5 shutout, and he's retired 11 in a row. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-0 Crushers on the Otters Digital Network.
Yes, sir, we have
Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium. Bottom of the 5th inning from Lake Erie. 2-0. The Crushers lead the Otters. Evansville's offense on their longest drought of scoring all season long. Evansville shut out yesterday. Have not scored today through 5. Last scored in the 8th inning on Sunday night against Joliet. 15 straight innings without a run for the Otters. It's their longest drought all season here in game number 46 of the year. First pitch home to San Chile, misses low for a ball, 1-0. Tim Holdgrafer out for his 5th inning of work. 6 strikeouts today, just 5 hits, but 4 of them coming in the 4th. 4 straight 2-out hits for 2 runs. The 1-0 swung on and fouled just to my left. I don't know, that looked like it was headed right towards the home broadcasting booth where Kyle and the voices of the Crushers are down there. Hopefully they're okay. Maybe they caught it. I can't see. 1-1 is fouled to a similar location. That's down into the suite level. 1-2. Kyle and Andy down. Voices of the Crushers on Flow Sports. On the home broadcast tab, if you're watching on Flow Sports, you're on the visiting broadcast today. The 1-2 is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Glad that we're simulcast on TV today, as well as on the Otters Digital Network. Big thanks to everyone at Flow and here at Lake Erie. Had a great time already, and we're only halfway through the week here in Cleveland. The 2-2 popped up into center field. Back is Quiggle. Reaches up the glove and makes the catch about 10 strides shy of the track. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Barge professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. Back to the top of the order for the Crushers with 1 out. Todd Isaacs Jr., righty batter, takes a first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Two runs on 5 hits, no errors for Lake Erie. No runs on 1 hit, no errors for Evansville. 0-1 home. Fouled off the screen, 0-2. Otters were held to just 4 hits yesterday, which tied a season low. But today, even worse through 5, just 1 hit, and that only hit came all the way back in the 1st inning, the very first at bat of the game. Noah Myers lined one into right. 0-2. Swing and a miss, and there's 2 away. Beautiful slider. Front door slider by Tim Holdgrafer, catching the inside corner. He's got 7 strikeouts. 2 away, brings up Jack Harris. Watsonville, California native, with California Dreaming as his walk-up song. First pitch to Harris is a strike at the knees. No need to do California Dreaming on a winter's day, though, because it is a beautiful summer's day here in northern Ohio. Low 80s and sunny skies. 0-1 home. Harris pops it up behind home plate and out of play, 0-2. 7 strikeouts for Holdgrafer. He's 1 away from tying a season high of 8. She achieved at Joliet and home against Schaumburg. 0-2. Popped up right side in foul territory. Aaron Beck, the first baseman, over at the edge of the wall, and it bounces 6 rows up into the seats and onto the concourse. Yesterday, that would have been right on someone's head, but especially down the right field line where the sun is just beating down. There aren't too many people there. And they are all in their hats and sunscreen. Another 0-2 coming home. Holdgrafer winds and deals. It's low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Best place to be today is up in the suite level because those are covered from the shade, and where we are high up, Got a great view from the press box. 1-2. Swung on and lofted into right field. Down for a base hit. Jack Harris has his first hit of the day. Another 2-out base hit for Lake Erie. All 6 of their hits today have come with 2 outs. Brings up Jared Watkins, the shortstop, with 1 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-0 Crushers lead. Griffin pitches, misses low, 1-0. Otters bullpen is quiet. Lake Erie has a righty just starting to warm. Trevor Kunsil in the bullpen. But with the way Hammer is pitching, I imagine he'll go into the 6th for the first time this year. A 1-0 is chopped right side and foul. First base coach couldn't hold on to it, tried to barehand it. One count to Watkins. Grayford just above the belt. Pitch number 76. Low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Old Grayford undefeated on the road so far this year, 3-0, but has gotten no run support today. Old Grayford's been great at working shutouts for the Otters, but he's also pitched 2 times where the Otters have been shut out. The 2-1 is swung on and popped up into right field. There is Brian Rosario to make the grab, and that retires the side. Old Grayford, a quality outing, is one inning away as he's worked 5 excellent innings and allowed just 2 runs. The Crushers lead, though, 2-0 through 5 on the Otters Digital Network. Five innings complete from Mercy Health Stadium on the 4th of July. 2-0 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. America's pastime on America's birthday. J.D. Hammer back out for his 6th inning of work, working on a 1-hitter as Brian Rosario, switch hitter batting lefty, takes the first pitch inside for a ball. Rosie grounded out his first time up to bat after the day off yesterday. Pitch taken on the inside corner for a strike to Rosario. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rosie hitting .235 on the year with 32 stolen bases to lead the way in the Frontier League. 32 of 35. 1-1. Rosario shows bunt and lunges at it. It bounces off his bat and trickles back to the backstop. We're almost at the halfway point of the season. Rosario at 32 stolen bases. The Evansville single season record is 50. And Rosario already ranks 5th all time in the Otters single season stolen base charts. 1-2, swung on and lined into the seats down the left field line. Rosario feels pretty close to a lock to get to 40, you'd think, as long as he stays healthy and on the roster. 50, not a guarantee, but if he gets to 40, that'd be second best all time. The 1-2, inside corner, strike 3 called, 1 away. Strikeout number 7 for J.D. Hammer. He has laid down the hammer on the Otters and then some. Back to the top of the order, Noah Myers. Quite simply, Hammer looks like a former big leaguer, as he is. His 2 years with the Philadelphia Phillies as a bullpen guy. Even had some success in the big leagues. Crushers game notes were mentioning when he made his debut against the Milwaukee Brewers, the first 3 batters he saw were Christian Yelich, Ryan Braun, and Mike Moustakas. What a murderer's row that is. The 1-0 outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Some great Brewers teams in the late 2010s. Those were his first 3 batters he faced, and he got all of them out. 2-0 to Myers. Sails high, 3 balls and no strikes. Season high now for Hammer of 7 strikeouts. It was 5. He's gone into the 6th inning for the first time this season. 3-0. Strike hit the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike to Myers. Otters have not had a base runner since the 2nd inning when Khalil walked. 12 in a row retired for Hammer. 3-1. Sails high for ball 4. Myers works a walk. There is that first base runner for Evansville all the way since the 2nd inning. One aboard with 1 out. And out comes Jared Lemieux, the manager for the Crushers. That might do it for Hammer. Well, he hasn't gone longer than 5 this season, in large part because he's been a reliever. He's not used to the high level of pitch count, but he gets 1 out here in the 6th. What a performance by the righty today here on the 4th of July. The Otters happy to see him go. They'll face the Lake Erie Pen with 1 on and 1 out in the top of the 6th. 2-0 lead for the Crushers on the Otters Digital Network. Crushers going to the bullpen here in the top of the 6th inning. 1 on with 1 out. As John Dyer comes to the plate, he'll be the first to face Trevor Kunsil, the righty from Cincinnati. 2nd-year rookie in his 2nd year with the Crushers. He's been used more than any other Crushers reliever. 23 appearances on the season. That's in over half of Lake Erie's games. The first pitch home to John Dyer is taken for a strike at the letters. 3.68 ERA for Kunsil in 22 innings pitched and 18 strikeouts. Righty with a high set, steps off, checks over to first, and Myers back in safely. Pitching change brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road. You can call at 812-475-9000. Swing and a miss by Dyer, 0-2. Kunsel did get roughed up his last time out against New York on Sunday. Allowed 3 hits and 2 total runs over an inning pitched. 0-2, bouncing in the dirt, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You want to see anyone but the starter. Yesterday, though, Otters were shut out by Kyle Seebach through 6, and they didn't get anything going in the last 3 innings against the Lake Erie bullpen. Just 1 walk, no hits over 3 different pitchers. The 1-2 fouled away by Dyer to stay alive. Hoping things are different here against Kunsel in this excellent Lake Erie pitching staff. 4.10 ERA is 3rd best in the Frontier League. 1-2 delivery, bounces way in front of home plate. Myers leaning the wrong way, has to dive back to first base and beats the throw from Tuchilla. Two 2-0 Lake Erie here in the top of the 6th with 1 out. 1-2 count to Dyer. Otters still with just 1 hit today. Throw home. Inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters trying to avoid dropping the first 2 games of a series for just the 3rd time all year. It's only happened at Quebec and at home against Schaumburg. Otters haven't been swept all year as pickoff throw back to first. Myers dives back in safely. Otters were actually swept here at Lake Erie last year, one of the 3 times Evansville was swept all year last year. Payoff. Inside for ball 4. Dyer works a walk, and the Otters have 2 on for the first time all day. Myers at second, Dyer at first with 1 out. And the heart of the lineup coming to the plate, first with Dakota Phillips.
Stepping in now for the Otters, number 7, Dakota Phillips.
Dakota 0 for 6 so far on the series. But the RBI leader for the Otters with 41 batted in on the year. And a huge spot here. Righty pitcher to lefty batter. First pitch bounces low and in the dirt. Myers down to third. Dyer into second. Throw down to second. Dyer is safe. And 2 in scoring position now for Evansville. Ball bounced away from Tuchillo. Myers got a great jump. No chance to get in. Dyer not the fastest runner down to second, but able to beat the throw. Just a 2-run lead for the Otters, if nothing else. Get at least a run here in the 6th. And finally get a run in on the board in Lake Erie after being shut out in the first 14 innings of this series. 1-0. Just missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Just 12 walks and 22 innings pitched for Kunsel this year. 2-0 home, swung on and lined into left field. Over is Isaacs Jr. will hop in front of him. Myers will race home to score. Dyer advances to third, and Evansville finally has their run here in Avon. An RBI base hit for Dakota Phillips to left. Cuts the lead in half to 2-1. Otters runners had to wait to see if the ball would fall. So Dyer just advances 1 station to third base. 1 out. Runners on the corners now for Yomar Reyes. Yomar struck out the first 2 times today. First pitch to the righty batter on the inside corner for a strike, going 1. 2 walks and an RBI base hit by Phillips, giving the Otters their first run of the day. 2-1 score. Kunsel delivers. Reyes takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dakota has come through in a lot of big moments for the Otters. 42 RBIs now in the season, leads Evansville. That's in the top 5 of all of the Frontier League. 1-1. Popped up by Reyes, right side out of play. Dyer is the tying run, 90 feet away at third base. One and two, fouled away again by Reyes. Omar's gotten a hit in seemingly every game for the last millennia. Can he find one here to tie things up for the Otters? 57 hits on the season. Kunsel delivers. Swing and a miss by Reyes. Struck out on a fastball. That's the second out of the sixth. First out for Kunsel. Two away. Runners still on the corners. It brings up Kona Quiggle. Kona looking for his first hit of this series. He is 0 for 6. First pitch home to the lefty. Outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Dyer at third. Phillips at first. 2-1 lead for the Crushers here in the top of the sixth. Kunsel winds and throws. Quiggle swings, lines one into right field, a base hit. Dyer scores, we're tied at 2. Quiggle's first hit of the series. A tying RBI base hit into right over the head of the leaping second baseman Thomas Rivera. 2 across for the Otters, and we've got a brand new ball game here in the top of the 6th inning. Two on and two out. Still a chance for more as George Khalil stands in. Right, he takes the first pitch, strike on the inner third. The Otters needing some of their best hitters to come through. And Dakota Phillips, Kona Quiggle doing just that with RBI knocks. 0-1. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Khalil. Kunsel a high set with a brown beige glove. Delivers a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now action in the Otters bullpen. This is Tim Holdgrafer's game now. He's finally gotten a little bit of run support. And outside of a fourth where he gave up 4 hits, he's been brilliant. Time is called. Kunsel will reset on the mound. 1-2. Chopped right back to the pitcher, Kunsel. He gloves it on the mound, hops over to first, underhand toss to get Khalil for the 3rd out. Otters, though, tie the game. RBI base hits by Phillips and Quiggle. We're all tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, fans, I'm out here in left field, and we have a new game that we started a couple nights ago called Swing for the Fences. Nathan is our contestant. He has 6 wiffle balls to get 3 over the fence. If he gets 3 over the fence, he can get a voucher for a future game. So, Nathan, whenever you're ready, tee it up and let him have it. Go for it, my man. It's all right, it's all right.
All tied at 2 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning for Mercy Health Stadium. So Mulgrafer out for his 6th inning of work, fires the first pitch outside to Kemwell Thomas Rivera. Otters pleading 2 in the top of the 6th. 2 walks by Myers and Dyer. Chasing the starter hammer. Thomas Rivera swings and pops one up into center field. Back is Quiggle. A few steps from the track, makes the catch, 1 away. Otters chase the starter J.D. Hammer after the first walk. Dyer worked a walk. Phillips an RBI base hit to cut the lead in half. And then Conan Quiggle coming through with a 2-out knock into right field to tie things at 2 apiece. Otters getting much needed runs for the first time this week here in Avon. 1 away for Mulgrafer. Keenan Irizarry, the third baseman, lefty batter, takes the first pitch low for a ball. Mulgrafer allowed just 6 hits and 2 runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts. 1-0 home. Breaking ball at the knees for a strike. 1-1. Control's been excellent today for Mulgrafer. All he'd like back is the 4th inning. Otherwise, has really had the Crushers' number all day. The pitches have been working well. He's looked confident and poised. The 1-1 is low. 2 balls and 1 strike. The drum here today at Mercy Health Stadium is it's been put into good use. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and grounded. Diving is Sayer. He gloves it. Stands back up and drops the baseball. Irizarry is safe at first. Sayer looked like he might have a spectacular diving play and throw. He did all of the hard work. Diving on the edge of the right field turf. And when he got back up, just dropped the ball on the glove-to-hand transfer. Go down as a base hit for Irizarry. There's 1 on with 1 out here in the 6th, and it brings up Zach Rakusin. Second hit of the day for Irizarry, fresh off the IL yesterday, had a big RBI base hit. Having a good series. Rakusin takes a first pitch strike at the knees. Otters trying to win on the 4th of July today and tie up the series at 1 before an off day yesterday. Oh, and 1 from Rakusin. Swing and a miss. Beautiful slider that fell out of the zone. 0-2. Rakusin will call time. See that so often by batters with the pitch clock into effect. You could just step out whenever you wanted as a batter before, but now you got to call time and use one of your 2 disengagements. And pretty frequently used by batters when there's 2 strikes, especially in an 0-2 count. Try to mentally reset yourself and take a big deep breath. 0-2 home. He is low, 1 ball and 2 strikes. One on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Lake Erie 2, Evansville 2. Mulgrafer nods and throws. Popped up by Rakusin and out of play. It's been a pitcher's duel, but a lot of long at-bats and a couple longer innings in the bottom of the 4th and the bottom of the 6th. The 2 runs apiece for both sides. This game has really slowed down. 1-2 pitch. Popped up into right field. Coming in is Quiggle. Over is Rosario, and Rosario will make the jogging catch in shallow right center for the 2nd out. Josh Rego to the plate with 2 outs and 1 on. Rego had a big RBI double, ground rule double that bounced off the warning track and over the wall. Back in the 2-run 4th inning for the Crushers. Mulgrafer throws, swing and a miss by Rego, 0-1. 90 pitches for Tim. Still no action in the Otters bullpen. See if he can complete 7 for the Otters. If he can get a quick out here, should be good to come out for one more inning. 0-1, popped up, high in the air, right side. Sayer, the second baseman, back on the edge of the right field turf, makes the grab for the 3rd out of the inning. The 8th quality start of the season for Tim Holdgraver over his first 10 outings. And Otters ace, a certain all-star. We're all tied at 2 through 6 on the Otters Digital Network.
Hidden ball game that everyone in the stadium is going to participate in. So everyone pulls your attention over onto the video screen. We have 3 caps, and underneath the middle cap, we're going to start with a baseball underneath that. Now I want you all to follow this, and then at the end we're going to have a vote as to where the ball ends up, okay? So pay attention. It's very important you pay attention, because right now you're talking about bragging rights, okay? Watch where the hat's going. I like the happy sad music. Okay, fans, now, is it under number 1? Is it under number 2? Or is it under number 3? The consensus is it's number 3. Press box, let's show them what the answer is. It's number 3. Congratulations, guys. You are all very observant. And as we say now in the game, go Crushers!
Thanks, Tom. That was fun. Hey, fans, it's the top of the 7th inning, and we will be closing the St. Paul Westlake Kids Zone soon. Kids, this could be your last chance to get a mouse in before getting in line for post-game autographs. It's located right behind the right field wall. And Crusher fans, are your kids a part of the new Crusher Kids Club? VIP members get tickets, merchandise, and special access to their favorite Crusher Kids activities. You can find out more about our basic or VIP packages over at Advanced Services on the Third Base Concourse. Sign up today and join us for some exclusive fun all season long.
Back here on the shores of Lake Erie, as we go to the top of the 7th inning, all tied at 2. Aaron Beck leading things off for Evansville. First full inning of work for Trevor Kunsel, who got the last 2 outs of the 6th, but gave up both tying runs, both runs that tied the game for the Otters in the top half of the 6th. Pitch tails high to Beck, and it's 2-2. Swing and a miss on the 1-1. That makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crushers have an arm warming up in the pen. They used 3 guys yesterday, but all just an inning apiece. 1 and 2 pitch is low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two to the lefty batter, high and a full count. The lefty Darian Reagans, who the Otters just saw yesterday getting loose in the pen. Payoff? At the knees, strike 3 called. Beck left looking. The Otters have struck out 9 times today. Brings up Daniel Sayer with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 7th inning. A tight ball game, and the Otters trying to even the series at 1. Sayer lays down a bunt that bounces foul. Otters 10-9 on the road, one of just 4 teams with a winning record. Haven't dropped a road series since early June at Joliet. They've won their last 3. 0-1, excuse me, lofted into center field. Back is the second baseman, Kemal Rivera, and he makes the catch on the flare. 2 away. For the first time in more than 2 decades, the Frontier League All-Star Game returns to Chicago's Southland. Come to Ozinga Field in Crestwood, home of the Windy City Thunderbolts, to see the best of the Frontier League in the skills competition and All-Star Game, July 11th and 12th. Visit WCThunderbolts.com for more information. 2 outs for Brian Rosario. Switch hitter batting lefty takes the first pitch outside. Base is empty here in the top of the 7th, all tied at 2. Pitch misses low. 2 balls and no strikes to Rosie. Perfect day, bright blue sky on the 4th of July. No wind at all now. American flag sitting flat on the flagpole. Lovely day for baseball. 2-0 misses low. 3 balls and no strikes. Looking forward to spending the next couple days around the Cleveland area. The 3-0 misses outside for ball 4. Rosario works a 4-pitch walk. So with 2 outs, Rosario at first. Back to the top of the order, and Noah Myers. And that looks like it's going to do it for Consul. We're hoping he'd finish the 7th, but with the walk, Reagan's the lefty coming in from the pen. Lake Erie making a change here in the top of the 7th. Otters looking to take the lead. All tied at 2 on the Otters Digital Network.
And this pitching adjustment is brought to you by Simonson Chiropractic. Give Dr. Leo a call at Simonson Chiropractic today at 440-934-2131 if you need an adjustment of your own.
All tied at 2 in the top of the 7th inning as the Crushers making their second call to the bullpen today. Top of the order coming up for the Otters. Brian Rosario working a walk. He's at first with 2 outs. And the new pitcher, Darian Reagan's already pitching in this series for the 2nd time. He pitched the 8th inning yesterday against the Otters, walked the first batter before getting Myers, Quiggle, and Phillips out in order. And he's going to face the top of the order again. First year in Noah Myers with 2 outs. Reagan's the lefty, steps off, and he's got Rosario in a rundown. Throw to the shortstop, Watkins, chasing Rosario back to first. Throw to the first baseman, Rega, who tags out Rosario for the 3rd out of the inning. Didn't even need to throw a pitch to get the last out of the top of the 7th. We will stretch here at Mercy Health Stadium, all tied at 2 on the Otters Digital Network.
And please stand and remove your caps for the singing of God Bless America, performed by our very own Mr. Tom Myro.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with
Bottom of the 7th inning from Mercy Health Stadium. A good ball game on the 4th of July. Lake Erie 2, Evansville 2. Tim Holdgrafer, his 8th quality start of the season in 10 starts. We'll try to get the Otters through the 7th as John Tuchillo, the catcher, will lead things off 8-9-1 for the Crushers here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 runs for Lake Erie in the 4th and 2 for the Otters in the 6th. That's all today, just 10 combined hits between the two sides. Holdgrafer readies, and the first pitch to the ready batter, outside, 1 ball and no strikes. 2 hours into baseball on this Tuesday afternoon. Doesn't feel like a Tuesday though. It's a fantastic holiday. Tuchillo takes a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. Otters have the lefty all-star, Leone De La Cruz, warming in the bullpen. Leone has not pitched this whole road trip. 1-1, Tuchillo swings and lines one into center field. It one-hops in front of Quiggle for a base hit. Leadoff base hit for Tuchillo in the 7th. And we'll see how long the leash is here on Holdgrafer. His pitch count at 95. His longest outing of the season, 101 pitches. Face Sean Cheely, the center fielder, with 1 on and nobody out. Bottom of the 7th, all tied at 2. Otters trying to even up the series at a game apiece. Lake Erie trying to win their first series in 6 after dropping the last 6. Be their first series win in 7 with a win today. Cheely trying to lay down a bunt and chopped it foul. Holdgrafer on the far right side of the rubber. Kicks and throws. Another bunt is popped up, and Phillips, the catcher in foul territory, makes the basket catch. 1 away. Cheely, that did not work out. Tried to lay down the bunt and popped it up right behind home plate. Easy catch for Phillips, 1 away. So 1 away, back to the top of the order, and Todd Isaacs Jr. with the top of the order coming up. Max Peterson doesn't want to take any more chances in a tied ball game. Another great start for Tim Holdgrafer. 6 1/3, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. Max Peterson takes the ball from him. Holdgrafer, though, will exit with another no decision. Leone De La Cruz coming into the ball game for the Otters with 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. We'll be right back on the Otters Digital Network. Otters making a call to the bullpen for the first time today. Leone De La Cruz into the ball game for Evansville. All tied at 2 between the Crushers and the Otters. 1 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. This call to the bullpen brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find all your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. One of the 2 all-star pitchers for the Otters, the lefty flamethrower, 19 innings pitched, a 1.42 ERA, and 36 strikeouts over 17 appearances. Trying to keep this a tie ball game in the bottom of the 7th. Southpaw on the far left side of the rubber, kicks and throws. The first pitch sails high, 1-0. De La Cruz has been at his best of late. His last 5 innings pitched, he has allowed just 2 base runners and struck out 7 innings. That's over his last 3 outings. The 1-0 on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Just 3 earned runs allowed all year by De La Cruz. He's got the stuff, no doubt, with the put-away slider. It's one of the nastier pitches by anyone in the Frontier League. A well-deserved all-star selection. 1-1 home. Swung on and fouled straight back off the screen, 1-2. And a high heater with the fastball. Command and control is the only concern for De La Cruz, and of late, he's been very good. Early in the season, we certainly saw some wild pitches, some walks, some hit batters. It's been very under control by Leone over his last few starts. The 1-2 swung on and lined into left field, a base hit. Todd Isaacs Jr., his 4th hit of the series. And there's 2 on with 1 out, and the Crushers threatening to take the lead. Two on with 1 out, and it brings up Jack Harris, the right fielder. If you're wondering what the loud noises are, they're taking down tables right below me. I apologize. I think they're done now. Jack Harris comes up. He's 1 for 3 on the day. 2 on and 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 2. And time is called. Harris with 2 hits yesterday, including a 2 RBI triple. And a big spot here trying to give Lake Erie the lead. De La Cruz kicks and throws. It sails high over the head of Phillips, bounces right back to Dakota, picks it up, and will throw to third, but no chance to catch Tuccello. So Tuccello at third, and Isaacs Jr. advances to second. It's the wild pitch from Leone. Does happen occasionally, a fastball too high, and Dakota Phillips out with Omar Reyes to serve as an interpreter and chat with De La Cruz. 1-0 count with 1 out, runners at second and third. All tied at 2, Lake Erie threatening to take the lead. Harris hitting .285 on the year. Leads the team in hits with 51. Tough guy to get out here for De La Cruz. Black glove for Leone, just above the black belt. Big kick and a throw. It's low. 2 balls and no strikes. De La Cruz steps off. His pitch clock was winding down. Reset. Doesn't look super comfortable here to start his first outing in almost a week. He last pitched on Wednesday. 2-0. Swing and a miss, 2-1. That was the good stuff. 96 miles per hour, the fastball from De La Cruz. You complement that with his wipe-away slider, and that's when he becomes an unhittable all-star. 2-1 count to Harris. Rocks back and forth and throws. Swung on and lofted into center field, a base hit. This should score both runners. Tuccello scores. Isaacs Jr. sent around and scores without a throw. It's 4-2 Lake Erie, a 2 RBI base hit for Jack Harris in the 7th. Harris comes through with 2 strikes and lines one into center field, and the Crushers retake the lead with 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th. So bring up Jared Watkins, the shortstop, who's 0 for 3 today. Back-to-back base hits off De La Cruz. out of the bullpen. First pitch to Watkins is a strike at the knees. Kevin Davis is now starting to throw in the Otters bullpen. A 1 home. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2 to Watkins. Otters have lost just 4 times all season coming off a loss, and just 3 times the day after a loss. It's a quick turnaround today, a day game after a night game. 0-2 pitch. He is high, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Six 0 win last night for Lake Erie. Another low-scoring ball game here, and the Crushers have plated 2 in the bottom of the 7th to retake the lead after the Otters scored 2 in the 6th. Pitch sails outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind and a throw. Popped up right side and out of play. Two runs in the 4th for Lake Erie, and adding 2 more here in the 7th. They've totaled 10 hits on the day. 8 base hits. It's been a good first 2 offensive days for the lowest scoring offensive team in the league. 2-2. Sails outside, no full count. 6 runs yesterday for the Crushers on 8 hits. They haven't benefited from any walks today after walking 4 times yesterday. But 10 hits will do it for you. It's a good recipe for success. Payoff is lined foul. Leone still searching for his first out. Back-to-back base hits for the Crushers. And 3 hits in total in the inning. Cello, and then top of the order, Isaacs Jr. and Harris coming through. Payoff home. Swing and a miss by Watkins. Throw down to first. Harris gets back to the bag safely. So 2 away, and De La Cruz looking to escape the 7th without any more damage. As Kemwell Thomas Rivera comes to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first. Leone working out of the stretch, brings the glove all the way up to his face. Gets the sign from Phillips, kicks and throws. Thomas Rivera takes a first pitch strike. Oh, and 1. Taken outside, 1-1. Your Silco Frontier League standings. The Otters 2.5 games back of first place Gateway. Grizzlies beat up on the Y'alls last night in front of over 6,000 fans. Grizzlies ballpark. 1-1. On the inside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and De La Cruz a strike away from getting out of the inning. Schaumburg came from behind, and they walked off Joliet last night. Blake Grant Parks hit a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. So they're a game up on the Otters. 1-2, runner takes off, ground ball left side. Reyes, the third baseman, there to glove it. Throw to first in time to beat Thomas Rivera by a stride, and the side is retired. 3 singles, plate 2 runs for the Crushers in the bottom of the 7th. They retake the lead 4-2 on the Otters Digital Network. To the 8th inning on the 4th of July from Mercy Health Stadium in Avon, Ohio. 4-2 lead for Lake Erie over Evansville. 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 RBI base hit by Jack Harris, giving the Crushers the lead. The Otters have not won a game all season when trailing in the 8th inning or later. They'll try to reverse that here, trailing by 2, as Darian Reagan's got a pitch clock violation to start the top of the 8th inning, and now Jared Lemieux isn't happy about it and coming on out to chat with Clifton Glidewell. I'm not even sure Reagan saw it. If he did, he didn't change anything. He was just working and getting ready on the mound, looking in for the sign, and kind of ignored Clifton Glidewell, but Lemieux wants a word. So it's a ball given to Noah Myers, top of the order here, leading off for the Otters in the 8th. Reagan's got the last out in the bottom of the top of the 7th without throwing a pitch, as Rosario got caught in a rundown at first. Long talk with Lemieux and Glidewell concludes. So 1-0 count to Myers to start here in the top of the 8th inning. Reagan's fires a first pitch low to Myers, 1-1. Myers facing Reagan's yesterday, popped out to third. Reagan's big wind back, and Myers fouls it away, 2-1. Reagan's, if you weren't listening yesterday, described his windup. It's pretty wild array of limbs flying everywhere. Cocks the arm way back, about 90 degrees, and has a very high leg kick before coming all the way around to deliver, as he finds a strike on the inside corner to Myers, 2-1. Been quite effective, though. 1.69 ERA in 26 innings pitched. Kind of hesitated and then fires home, and Myers strikes out. A little hesitation on the windup from Reagan's, and it got me confused, and it got Noah Myers confused as well. He started the leg kick and then just paused in the air before finishing his motion. You're allowed to do that. Just most pitchers would be uncomfortable with it. So Myers strikes out, 1 away here in the 8th, and brings up John Dyer, who swings at the first pitch and fouls it off his foot. Reagan stuff, I was very impressed with it yesterday. We've obviously seen 2 great starting performances by Crusher starters so far this week. But Reagan's, in terms of pure stuff, might be the best I've seen from any of the 4 Crushers relievers that have pitched so far. 0-1. Dyer fouls it again right off the side of his foot. 0-2. 4-2, the Otters trail here in the top of the 8th. Trying to avoid the series defeat at the hands of the last place Crushers. Wind to throw. Dyer swings and pops one up into shallow left. Racing in is Racusin, and he makes the catch. 2 away. Lake Erie last won a series all the way back on June 9th through the 11th. They took the first 2 games from Windy City. Since then, they have lost 6 series in a row, so it's been nearly a month since a series victory for the Crushers. But they're 4 outs away from winning the first 2 games of this one against the Otters, as Dakota Phillips takes a first pitch low for a ball. Still just 3 hits today for the Otters, 2 runs both coming in the 6th. Phillips had one of those hits, an RBI base hit. 1-0, inside, it nearly hit Phillips, 2-0. Otters need some base runners and some action. Reagan's delivers. Phillips fouls it off the screen, 2-1. Just a combined 7 hits now over the last 2 days for the Otters. An Evansville offense that entered the week red hot off its 2 best weeks of the season. Nothing has gone right so far here in Lake Erie as the 2-1 is fouled away out of play behind home plate. Otters had scored as the 2-2 swung on and missed by Phillips. And Reagan sends the Otters in order. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. 4-2 Crushers on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, Crusher fans, we're coming up on it. We can put this game home, but you know what? We need all of you to do it. Are you with me? Are you with me? You ready to do the cheer? I need you to do the cheer with me. You're small, but you're mighty, so let's do it together. Let's go, Crushers, again. Let's go, Crushers. Get louder. Let's go, Crushers. One more time. Let's go, Crushers. And be noisy with that.
Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium for the bottom of the 8th inning. A 4-2 lead for the Lake Erie Crushers over the Evansville Otters. It's been a beautiful day for baseball on the 4th of July as we approach the evening hours. Otters offense, though, a new day has not brought much new from yesterday. Got shut out yesterday and held to just 4 hits. Have 2 runs today, but just 3 hits. And 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning, putting the Crushers in front 4-2. Leone de la Cruz will remain in the ball game here for the bottom of the 8th, trying to keep it a 2-run game and give the Otters a chance in the 9th as the first pitch de la Cruz is up and in on Irizarry and nearly hit both Irizarry and Clifton Gladwell, the home plate umpire. Everyone had to get out of the way. This 91 up in the face of a couple guys. It's a scary sight. 1-0 pitch. Popped up, left side in foul territory. Reyes and Khalil over on the line, and Khalil makes the catch on the edge of the Crushers bullpen, 1 away. Two runs in the 4th and 2 in the 7th for the Crushers. The difference, they have 10 hits, and it's those 2 innings where they put offense together. 4 hits in the 4th. All with 2 outs, double 2 base hits, and an inning capping double scoring 2, and then it was 3 straight hits, all with 1 out in the, it was a leadoff base hit in the top of the 8th. Otters pulled Tim Holgrafer after a bunt pop out, and then 2 straight base hits with Jack Harris, the 2 RBI base hit to give Lake Erie the lead. Leone de la Cruz coming out of the ball game as Max Peterson out to make the change, and Kevin Davis is coming in for the Otters to try to get the last 2 outs. The bottom of the 8th. We'll be right back. 4-2 Crushers lead on the Otters Digital Network. Welcome back to Mercy Health Stadium. Kevin Davis into the ballgame for the Otters in the bottom of the 8th inning. Leone De La Cruz got the first down. Davis will try to get the last two and give the Otters a chance in the top of the 9, trailing by 2. Davis making his 18th appearance of the season, 6'9" righty and 19 innings pitched, a 2.84 ERA and 27 strikeouts over those 19 innings. Davis pitched in front of his friends and family on Saturday night in Joliet. As Zach Recuse, the batter, takes the first pitch strike. Pitch an inning and a third, allowed 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Beige glove, high set for the big righty. Delivers to the righty, Recuse fouls it off the screen. Pitching change brought to you by the Answer Auto Repair East. You can find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East, located at 2319 North Green River Road, or call at 812-475-9000. 0-2 home. Recuse fouls it off the screen. Otters will have the middle of the order coming up in the top of the 9th. Omar Reyes, his 24 game on base streak will be on the line. He struck out 3 times today. He'll lead off, then Kona Quiggle and George Khalil after. 0-2 delivery. Check swing on a pitch up. Held off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Davis winds and throws. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Davis stayed back in his home in Orland Park over the weekend as the Otters were in Joliet. Had a big group of friends and family cheering him on Saturday on every pitch. It was a lot of fun when he got into the ball game. Everyone in the ballpark heard him. The 2-2 swung on, lofted into center field. Quiggle is there and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. 2 away with nobody on here in the 8th. I want to remind you the next Evansville Otters home game is coming right up against the Windy City Thunderbolts on Friday to open up a 3-game homestand. Friday night will be Old National Bank Appreciation Day. Tickets are still available. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com or by calling 812-435-8686. All 3 home games before the All-Star break. Tickets available as Rago takes the first pitch outside for a ball. 2 outs, nobody on in the bottom of the 8th. The Otters trail 4-2. We'll have Saturday night's going to be a blast. A League of Their Own night. Otters will be wearing a League of Their Own jerseys and a jersey auction as well. The 1-0 on the inside corner, 1-1. And the Dog Days of Summer on Sunday evening will close out the 3-game homestand. Otters will have the day off after this game before concluding this series Thursday evening. 1-1, a strike on the inside corner, 1-2 to Rego. Davis looking for the last strike here of the 8th, and the Otters chance to wake themselves up in the top of the 9th with a comeback. 1-2 home. Swung on and fouled off the mask of Phillips. The mask goes falling off, and Phillips down on 1 knee. And he flagged the Otters doctor out to check on Dakota, as is Andy McCauley. Phillips just sitting down right now and putting his hands on his head. That is not a good sign. Lake Erie athletic trainer coming out as well. Ball hit right off his mask, and the mask flew off. Jake Green is walking on out for the Otters, and Phillips, good to see him on his feet, slowly walking off. Jake Green's going to come into this game for the Otters. Have to hope Dakota's okay. That's always scary, a ball that hits off the head, and Phillips went down right away and is slowly walking back in to the Otters dugout. Hope Dakota's okay. Davis is going to get a few warm-up pitches with Jake Green. Had to quickly rush into action here, looking for the last strike of the 8th inning. 1-2 count to Rego with 2 outs and nobody on. As Phillips getting checked on by Dr. Mandy in the Otters dugout. Justin Glidewell finishing up his bookkeeping with Green into the game behind the plate. Strange situation here. It's trying to get a last strike with Kevin Davis, who suddenly has a new catcher in the middle of his at-bat. 1-2 to Rego. Popped up into center field. Rosario in right, drifting over, and he'll make the catch in right center for the 3rd out of the inning. Last chance for the Otters in the top of the 9th inning. Reyes, Quiggle, Khalil coming up. The Otters trail 4-2 on the Otters Digital Network.
All right, fans, it's nearly time for post-game player autographs. You can now begin lining up on the third base side behind section 112.
Last call for the Otters on this 4th of July afternoon from Avon, Ohio. They trail 4-2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Lake Erie bringing in Braden Bonner to try to earn the save in the top of the 9th inning. Bonner pitched just yesterday in the 9th inning of a game that was not close. Worked a clean inning with 1 strikeout. Bonner, no saves on the season. Crushers will not use their closer, Sam Curtis, here, but Bonner has been a closer in the past. He was extensively with Wisconsin Rapids in the Northwoods League in summer ball and also served as a closer his last 2 years at Dixie State. Big 6'4", 200-pound Rady will face Yomar Reyes, the middle of the lineup here for the Otters. First pitch to Reyes, sails outside for a ball. Reyes is 0 for 3 today, and his 24-game on-base streak on the line at this at-bat. Bonner on the far right side of the rubber, sets at the belt, big kick and a throw. Reyes swings and chops one right back to Bonner, who fields it with the glove, runs towards first, underhand toss to the bag for the first out. What a run for Yomar Reyes, but unless something crazy happens here for the Otters bats, the 24-game on-base streak will come to an end here on the 4th of July. One away, and it brings up Kona Quiggle. Otters down to their last 2 outs. Quiggle is 1 for 3 today. He had the game-tying RBI base hit back in the 6th. First pitch to the lefty, a strike at the knees. Otters have been held to just 2 runs and 3 hits today, both runs coming in the 6th. 1 hit in the 1st and 2 hits in the 6th. 0-1. On the inside corner for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters in danger of dropping 2 in a row for just the 4th time this season. 0-2 pitch. Popped up left side, high in the air, down the line. Isaacs Jr. giving it a look, but it will bounce into the seats. On the right side of the rubber. Big deep breath, comes home. Quiggle swings and launches one high in the air to right. Recusin back, racing back, and makes the grab as he runs into the wall. Beautiful play by Recusin, reaching up into the air as he jogged backwards to make the catch, and the Otters down to their last out. It's down to George Khalil for the Otters. Khalil walked back in the second and is 0 for 2 today. Righty batter to face the Rennie Bonner. Bonner twirls home. Swung on and popped up into right field. Recusin is there, a few steps back from the track, makes the grab for the out, and the Crushers win the series with a 4-2 victory here on the 4th of July. The Otters held to just 2 runs and just 3 hits. That's their lowest total in any game this season. Not much going for a second straight day for the Otters bats. It was 2 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning that made the difference for Evansville. Tim Holdgraver was excellent, but had 1 poor inning in the second where 4 hits came across with 2 outs and 3 singles in the 7th. The first coming from Holdgraver and the second 2 coming off Leone De La Cruz made the difference. And the Crushers win 4-2 here on a beautiful 4th of July. The Otters dropped their 2nd in a row, just the 3rd time in a series they've dropped the first 2 games. Crushers improved to 20-27. It's the first series victory for the Crushers in their last 7 series, and their first series victory in nearly a month. Evansville falls to 26-20. The Otters have lost 2 in a row, and they fall to now 3 games back of Gateway for first place in the Frontier League West. Final totals today, 4 runs on 10 hits, no errors for Lake Erie. The Otters 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. Jack Harris led the way for the Crushers, 2 hits. He had the game-winning 2 RBI base hit back in the bottom of the 7th inning for Lake Erie, and that was the difference. Tim Holdgraver, 6 1/3 today, 8 hits, 3 runs, 7 strikeouts. He will end up getting the loss. The run came across when he wasn't on the mound. The loss will end up going to Holdgraver, though he does get his 8th quality start of the season. So 4-2 the final score. The Otters are going to get some time off now to try to bounce back and avoid the sweep on Thursday evening. We'll have an unusual day off tomorrow before we finish the series on Thursday evening back here from Avon. John Vargas will go for the Otters, and Angelo Baez already will go for Lake Erie. That will be an evening game, 6:05 Central Time first pitch, just after 7 o'clock local time here in Avon. We hope you join us then, but until then, we wish you and your family and your friends a great rest of the 4th of July. It's beautiful weather across the Midwest, and we hope in the last few hours of sunshine you take some time to enjoy. The Otters drop their 2nd in a row here today from Lake Erie as they fall 4-2. For our entire Evansville Otters Digital Network crew and our great production team here in Avon, our director Joey Beardsley, our producers back in Houston, Joshua Henricks. I'm Griffin Epstein on the Evansville Otters Digital Network. So long from Avon as the Crushers beat the Otters 4-2.